I'm Randy Schroeder. I was asked to describe to you in a few short minutes why community commerce, long called network marketing, why community commerce, and then to make it more specific, why MonaVie, our extraordinary company in this industry, and then finally to try to suppose why you. So let me tell you why network marketing, why community commerce from my perspective. I think all those years ago when I was first introduced to the industry, I was a stockbroker, I was at a really large successful firm, I was at a great big corner office, and I was considered large and successful myself. And I just really didn't like it at all. It's not just that I didn't like it, I couldn't imagine myself doing the same thing year after year after year. And one day while I was complaining, whining to my attorney and friend, he said, "Randy, why don't you check out this company in direct selling, network marketing?" And I did. And when I went, I was back in the back of a room, and it was a big room with a lot of people in it. I couldn't understand what was going on, but one thing that happened when I walked in that room, my spirits were lifted. I didn't know what took place. Today I can tell you what it was. I'd walked into a room full of people who had hope, and I'd walked into a room full of people who had a shared common goal. Instead of being at odds with one another, instead of being in competition with one another, they had a shared common goal. There was something about that. The cosmos had conspired to make that a positive thing. And then, gradually, not quickly, but gradually, my attention centered on one of the speakers. And he said a few things that got my attention. But frankly, he talked for a long time, and he said a few things that got my attention. When the presentation was over, agonizingly long, candidly, I found my way to the front of the room, and I introduced myself. I said, "Would you please restate in a few short minutes why network marketing? You said a few things that intrigued me, but I can't yet quantify why network marketing, why community commerce in today's vernacular." And he said, "Well, in order for me to do that, I need to know a little bit about you." He said, "What do you do for a living?" I told him I was a stockbroker. Now, I'd posed that same question to you, what do you do for a living? His name was Craig, and Craig said, "Well, Randy, tell me this. Do you get to work when you want?" Well, I didn't. That was one of the things I was uncomfortable about in my position. I worked in downtown San Diego, and my home was in a northern suburb. Because I was active in the futures markets as well as in the common stock market, I had to be in the office at 5 a.m., and that meant that I had to leave home at 4:15 a.m., and that's not when I wanted to work. And Craig said, "Well, Randy, the reason that I have no strain and stress on my face, and you do, is because a number of years ago, I invited a handful of people over to my home, and that day it was like I dropped a pebble in a pond and the ripples started to spread. And today, those ripples have spread not just across America, but to foreign lands. Today," and he thumbed through a printout, "today there are not just hundreds, but thousands of people who every week and every month consume my company's products." And he said, "You see, Randy, I've separated myself from the generation of income through the consumption of other people, and because that's so, I get to work when I want. Is that better than what you've got or not?" It was better. He said, "Wait, there's more." He said, "Randy, do you get to work where you want?" Well, I didn't. I was told by the firm which city I would live in, and which building in the city, and which floor in the building, and which cubicle on the floor. He said, "Well, Randy, my life experience is different than yours. A number of years ago, I embraced the simple principles that make up network marketing, community commerce." And he said, "I invited a handful of people over to my home, and that night it was like I dropped a pebble into the pond, and the ripple started to spread. Not only are there now a large group of people consuming my company's products in my city, my state, my nation, and the world," he said, "there are literally hundreds, more than hundreds, there are thousands of people in my group who generate significant part-time income, significant enough that it's important to their families. If I quit, they wouldn't because they need the income. They're working for themselves, not for me." He said, "Randy, I've separated myself from the generation of income through other people's success, and that," he said, "is why I'm smiling and you're not. Is that better than what you got or not?" It was better than what I had. And then he took it one more step. He said, "Randy, do you get to work with whom you want?" Man, I didn't. I wouldn't have chosen my boss. I wouldn't have chosen the person in the cubicle to my right or to my left. He said, "Randy, a number of years ago, I invited a handful of friends over to my home, and that night it was like I dropped a pebble in a pond and the ripple started to spread. And today, I have not just hundreds, but thousands of people who consume my company's products in my city, my state, my nation, and the world. And I've established a little royalty position for myself because I'm the one who set that process in motion, and I've separated myself from the generation of income. I have more than 1,000 people." And he warned me, he said, it won't be fast for you, and it won't be easy. It wasn't fast or easy for me. But he said, a number of years ago, I set that process in motion, and today I share in the productivity of literally thousands of people. And he said, Randy, for so long I worked and I pushed myself against the grinding wheel trying to get better and better and better. And one day I had an epiphany, being rewarded as a result of the part-time, halting, perhaps poorly executed processes of thousands will produce so much more than I could ever produce myself. And he said, I've separated myself from the generations of income through all of those fledgling people just getting started. And then he said, here's the real magic, Randy. There are quite a few of those people who didn't just make halting first steps, but who have stayed engaged in the business. They've developed new skills. They've developed new character attributes. They've completely replaced their full-time job. They've broken through to new levels of income not possible in their career. Today, I not only have separated myself from the generation of income through the consumption of many, through the part-time faltering efforts of new people, but most importantly through the long-term big successes of others. I have completely separated myself from the generation of income through those 3 different forms of leverage. And so he said, I get to work where I want, when I want, with whom I want, if I want. Is that better than what you've got now? And will that ever happen for you if you were a stockbroker? He was right. It made sense. I said yes. So careful when I make this next statement, because I don't know what your accomplishment will be. I don't know your goals, your desires, your willingness to work. I have no idea. But all those years ago, that made sense to me, and I dropped a pebble in a pond, and the ripples started to spread. Man, when those ripples spread, an amazing thing happened. I separated myself from the generation of income. And believe it or not, for the last 20 years in a row, I've earned over $1 million in this industry. What an amazing thing. Will that be your outcome? Don't know. Don't know you. Might that be your outcome? Is it possible? It's possible. I'm living proof of that. How about in your current job or career? Is that possible for you? And by the way, now let's just water it down a long ways. Water it down a lot. Forget those great big numbers. What if you earned the same thing you earn now, but you did it from your home instead of fighting traffic? What if you earned the same thing you do now, but you did it working for yourself instead of somebody else, and you got to call the shots? See, it's not just about making more money. It's about living a higher quality of life. And if you care to take it to the highest and last degree, so you also generate a great big income, great. But that's reserved for the few, for the very, very few. I believe that whatever you currently earn, you could earn here, and I believe that it would be a more positive way to generate that income, more positive life experience. That's why network marketing, that's why community commerce for me. Why MonaVie? You know, at the conclusion of this video, you will see an added track, and you will see in a far more powerful way than I can describe verbally why MonaVie. This is an amazing company. This is not just a good entry in the industry. This is an outstanding entry in the industry. But I will share with you the things to look for. There are a group of elements that have long been proven to be required for success. When you watch track 2, watch to find out if you can see evidence of a product or group of products that matters to people. See, what I learned long ago is that if in the physical product offering we have the capacity to provoke an emotional response, if we can change the way that a person looks, or change the way they feel, or change the way they feel about themselves, or in a measurable, not simply anecdotal way, improve their health, that will provoke an emotional response and result in long-term product consumption, and will likely provoke a willingness to tell someone else about it, and plop. The rock drops in the pond and the ripples start to spread, and once again, this extraordinary method of product distribution plays its way out in another instance as it spreads from household to household, city to city, state to state, country to country. Watch to see if there's a product that has evidence in past successes, recent past, to provoke that emotional response. And then here's my strongest encouragement to you. Irrespective of whatever else happens as a result of you reviewing this message, do not let the next 24 hours go by without you acquiring a bottle of our product. Don't let today go by without buying a bottle of one of the MonaVie functional beverages. I invite you to also try Reveal. Perhaps you're workout, fitness-minded. Try Reveal. Do that too. Do that in addition to. But don't let today end without getting your hands on a bottle of juice. Get your hands on a bottle of Max. That's the top of the line for us. Get your hands on a bottle of Active. You find out why it is that when the vast majority of people consume one bottle, they want a second bottle. That is the bottom on which this entire company rests. When people drink one bottle, they want the second. I, in fact, encourage you to allow that to be a key in your decision-making process. Drink a bottle of juice. And when it's gone, if you find yourself wanting another, you just proved our business to yourself. If you don't want another bottle of juice, don't do our business. Real simple. Here's the next thing I want you to watch for. as you review track 2. Watch to see if there's evidence of a company that can execute. See if you see evidence of a management team that is proven. See if it's been validated by others. Not a slick sales presentation. See if in fact you can see outside validation that here is a group of people who know where they're going, who have not just talent, but who have talent, knowledge, proven past ability, depth and breadth of experience. Watch for that. Timing of the venture. I will tell you the truth. Timing is all about you. I assure you this, like whatever you know the absolute very, very best, wherever your greatest and strongest and deepest bank of knowledge resides, that's the way I know and understand this industry. And I assure you, you'll learn it, MonaVie is right. It is, your timing is predicated on a moment in you. It's when you've developed 4 simple skills. Engage yourself in this process, and we're going to teach you how to develop 4 simple skills. We're going to show you how it is that you can literally view the world as your #1 prospect. As people who desperately want and need what we have, we will show you how to create a candidate list that is as big as your vision. I'll tell you that all these years I've been in the business, I've not found myself being relegated to paying per click, and I don't advertise. I have discovered that there is a skill in so living our lives such that our candidate list grows and grows in front of us in terms of quantity and quality, and we're going to teach you how to do that should you choose to join us. We'll show you a simple process involved in inviting others to look at our business. And that's a skill that can be developed such that the clarity of our message comes into full view of the next person who seeks to understand. We'll show you how within the context of your skill set and personality to effectively present our business, in all likelihood, it's going to amount to you pushing play with your candidate, as your proposed sponsor has now pushed play with you. This can be done. It can be done by you. It can be done by you now. And the door opens and the pebble drops in the pond and the ripples spread. And once again, success takes on a new name, face, and personality. It's yours. And we'll show you how to successfully get new members started on this process. Your moment of timing comes when you've developed those 4 skills. And an even greater, more conclusive moment of timing comes when and if you become willing, as I have, to confront yourself and identify any area of character that stands in the way of you being in close association with many, many, many people. I developed the skills quite quickly. It has been a lifelong process of continuing to identify rough spots in my character that have caused it to be difficult to be in association with people. Years and years and years of hard work have eliminated most of those rough spots. To the extent you develop those 4 skills and work hard to identify areas of character challenge and overcome them, I can almost promise you, you'll get the key in the lock. That'll happen. That's timing. The compensation plan is the next element to look for. And I would simply say this to you. There is someone like you, whoever you are. There's someone like you accomplishing what you want. There's someone your age. There's someone with your background. There's someone with your health challenges. There's someone with your relationship issues. There's someone with your lack of time. There's someone with your challenged marriage. There's someone with your beautiful marriage. There's someone with your extraordinary relationships. There's someone with all of your past success, or there's someone who has no past success, as perhaps you don't. Whoever you are, there's someone just like you who's really succeeding in this business. And so therefore the compensation plan is proven. It's proven itself again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And waits now to prove itself through you. You can be the next iteration of our success. The next element that has long been proven to be required for a company that goes on to greatness, not just meaningful in size, but meaningful in message and endurance, is some kind of a cause. And I will tell you that because we harvest that acai berry, because that comes from Brazil, and Brazil has so positively impacted this company and its various participants, whether it be consumers, part-time distributors, management, ownership, employees, whoever it is, full-time distributors, this product, this extraordinary nutrient, has enriched the lives of many, and so we choose to give back through the More Project. You'll learn about that. You'll learn a little bit about that as you watch and witness. And finally, I will tell you that I would add to this mix of elements required for success my pledge to you, my absolute certainty that there is no luck and there is no guesswork. There is a proven and predictable pattern of activities. If you engage in that pattern of activities over a period of time, the very process will result in you developing new skills. The more highly developed become your skills, the more predictably positive become the outcomes. And I will then invite you to become part of a community. Our community commerce, MVP, that is the structure. That is the banner that wraps us all together as a group of participants. You'll learn more about it. Well, I was asked if I could, in a few short minutes, describe to you why network marketing, why community commerce. I did my best in those minutes. I hope something resonated with you the way it resonated with me all those years ago. I was asked to describe why MonaVie. I described to you the elements that are required for success, and I now call upon you again to watch carefully track 2. And you look for those elements, and you see if in fact they can be found. Obviously, I know in advance they can be. I hope you see it with clarity the way that I do. And then, why you? Why you? Tell me this, does what you do today give you joy? Does your success today transcend to other people? Are you going the direction you want to go and you're bringing people with you? Do you want to find a way for your current life experiences to accrue to the benefit of many? Why you? You know that. I cannot. I cannot know why you. I can tell you this as an absolute certainty, that I consider to be among the very most fortunate moments in my life, the moment when I said yes to this industry. I consider it to be among the very, very most fortunate moments in my life when I reached a point in time where MonaVie was now in existence, and I was able to reconnect with my childhood friends, Randy and Dallin Larson, and their extraordinary partner, Henry Marsh, and I was able to then join myself together with this company. What an extraordinary moment of importance. Why you? Not sure. I'm really not. But what I do know is this. You have something to offer us, and we have something to offer you. Let us bring them together. I look forward to meeting you. I really do. God bless you.